What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Buzz. Dana White reacted to Islam Makhachev's fight against Jack Della Maddalena during the post-fight press conference, and he didn't hold back his honest thoughts. According to Dana, the matchup wasn't the most thrilling title fight fans have ever seen, and he acknowledged that it lacked the kind of excitement people usually expect from a championship bout. However, he emphasized that what Islam delivered inside the octagon was pure, undeniable dominance. Dana explained that while some viewers may not have enjoyed the slower pace, the level of control and skill Islam displayed was something only a handful of fighters in the world can produce. He highlighted that Islam consistently shuts down the strengths of his opponents, neutralizes their weapons, and dictates every moment of the fight. That type of performance, even if not explosive, is what separates elite champions from the rest. He went on to say that the most important question now is what comes next for Islam. Depending on the UFC's matchmaking decisions and the contenders available, Dana believes Islam is moving quickly toward the GOAT conversation. In his words, Islam is already showing signs of being one of the most dominant fighters of his era, and with a few more big wins, he could solidify his place among the all-time greats. Dana's message was clear. The fight may not have been fireworks, but the dominance was historic. Islam Makhachev is headed straight into GOAT territory. Please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for latest MMA updates. We truly value your support and need your help to grow. Move on to another news. After UFC 2022 ended, cameras caught a brief but intriguing exchange between Islam Makhachev and grappling legend Jon Jones inside the octagon. Fans immediately began speculating about what Islam had said, and during the post-fight interview, he finally revealed the conversation. Islam explained that he jokingly told Jon Jones that his jiu-jitsu wasn't working and suggested he come to Dagestan for 2 to 3 years to truly level up his skills. Islam added that the comment was made in good humor, highlighting the mutual respect between them despite the playful jab. When asked how Craig reacted, Islam said that Craig simply started laughing. According to Islam, Craig even turned to Khabib and said he would come to Dagestan. The interaction showed the friendly competitiveness that exists among elite fighters and grapplers, and it also reflected Islam's confidence in the Dagestani training system. The moment quickly gained attention among fans, not only because of the humor behind it, but also because it showcased the camaraderie among high-level martial artists. Islam's remark was delivered with a smile, and Craig's reaction showed he took it exactly as intended, a lighthearted challenge between two masters of their craft. Move on to another news. After Islam Makhachev secured another dominant victory, fans were treated to heartwarming footage of Khabib Nurmagomedov and Hasbulla celebrating the win together. The two were clearly in high spirits, enjoying the moment after an intense and emotional night. Khabib expressed how proud and happy they all felt, emphasizing that the team had once again made history. He explained that Islam continues to improve with every single fight, showing growth, discipline, and the relentless work ethic that defines their camp. Khabib mentioned that he and Hasbulla had been celebrating non-stop, but also admitted how exhausting the entire day had been. They barely had time to eat, constantly surrounded by cameras, media, and fans. Now, Khabib said, it was finally time for them to relax and truly enjoy the moment. He added that Islam deserved to rest after such a grueling performance, while he and Hasbulla planned to unwind with something simple but satisfying: fresh, hot pizza. The celebration captured the brotherhood, loyalty, and humor that fans love about the Dagestani team, showing their joy in both victory and the small moments that follow. Small moments that follow. Move on to another news. Sean O'Malley shared his thoughts on Islam Makhachev's performance against Jack Della Maddalena, and he immediately turned his attention to a potential super fight. He said he wants to see Ilia Topuria win his next matchup because an Islam versus Ilia showdown would be one of the biggest and most technically skilled fights in MMA history. According to O'Malley, both men are such complete fighters that the matchup would be incredibly hard to top. He added that he doesn't see anyone in the lightweight division stopping Islam from dominating the way he always does. Sean pointed out that Ilia hasn't truly been pushed in the grappling department yet. He acknowledged that Bryce Mitchell is an elite-level grappler, and Ilia handled him impressively, but Islam presents a completely different level of pressure and control. O'Malley emphasized that both Islam and Ilia are rare talents, fighters who are 10 out of 10 in every area of MMA. He compared their versatility to legends like Jon Jones, noting that only a handful of fighters in the sport possess the kind of all-around ability. Striking, wrestling, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, both men excel everywhere. However, Sean admitted that if these two highly skilled fighters ever meet, size may become the deciding factor. In a matchup where both athletes can do everything at an elite level, physical advantages could play a major role. He concluded by saying that while both possess world-class skill sets, Islam's size and strength might ultimately matter more than people expect. Move on to another news. Dillon Danis has officially been banned from all future UFC events following the chaotic brawl that erupted during UFC 322. The incident took place in the crowd when Danis became involved in a heated altercation with members of Khabib Nurmagomedov's team, causing a massive disturbance that spread throughout the arena. After the event, Dana White addressed the situation during the post-fight press conference and revealed that Danis' behavior had crossed a final line. According to Dana, security had informed him earlier in the night that Dillon was wandering around the venue, taking seats reserved for UFC fighters and refusing to move when asked. When Dana was told this, he allowed Dillon to stay because he had a valid ticket, but he admitted this was a mistake he now takes full responsibility for. Dana explained that while he was focused on Jorge Masvidal, who had warned backstage that he would go after Danis on site, he didn't realize that several of Islam Makhachev's supporters were seated only a few rows away from Dillon. The moment tensions boiled over, Dana immediately recognized what was happening. The situation quickly escalated, leading to a full-blown brawl that sent the crowd into chaos. Dana stated clearly that Danis will never be allowed at another UFC event again. Despite the seriousness of the incident, he confirmed that no criminal charges will be filed. He emphasized that the UFC environment should never be disrupted this way, and Danis' repeated antics left the organization with no choice. Dana concluded by reiterating that he blames himself for allowing Danis to remain in the building after the initial warning, but the ban is now permanent. Islam Makhachev also reacted to the incident afterward, expressing surprise at how quickly the situation escalated. Move on to another news. Islam Makhachev responded to the altercation involving Dillon Danis and members of his team at UFC 322, making it clear that he believes Dillon brought the situation upon himself. According to Islam, when someone spends 5 years insulting and provoking others, they should expect consequences when they finally meet those people face to face. He said that Dillon has talked endlessly about him and his team, yet when confronted, he didn't back up any of his words. Islam explained that Danis has repeatedly disrespected his teammates, speaking badly about people he has never actually interacted with. At UFC 322, some of those individuals were finally in the same place at the same time, and they confronted him directly. Islam implied that Dillon simply got the response his own behavior had been inviting for years. When Islam was informed that Danis has now been banned from all future UFC events, he joked that Dillon shouldn't just be banned from the UFC, he should be banned from the entire country as well. Islam's comments reflected not only frustration with Danis but also a sense of inevitability about what happened. Footage from the brawl also showed Chenko, popularly known as John Pork, allegedly striking Dillon during the chaos. He later posted a photo on social media with Jorge Masvidal, displaying blood on his right knuckle, possibly from the altercation. While the extent of Dillon's injuries is unknown, online reports claim he was effectively TKO'd during the fight in the crowd. Journalist Damon Martin contacted the NYPD to verify whether any arrests had been made following the incident. Police confirmed that they were not notified of any arrests that night at Madison Square Garden. Despite the scale of the disturbance, it appears no legal action has been taken against Danis at this time. The situation has only intensified the controversy surrounding Dillon Danis, and with the UFC lifetime ban now in effect, the fallout from UFC 322 continues to grow. Move on to another news. Dana White has officially responded to Jon Jones following Jones' recent public apology. Earlier this week, Jon appeared on a podcast where he opened up about the tension surrounding the Tom Aspinall situation. During the interview, Jon admitted he regretted how he handled things and expressed a desire to apologize to Dana face-to-face. He said that Dana changed his life and his children's lives, and although they had a verbal agreement that never materialized, Jon acknowledged he was in the wrong and wanted to move forward. Jones explained that he has been giving Dana space, hoping to eventually reconnect so they can put the issue behind them and return to making major money together while entertaining fans. He even joked that sometimes Dana loves him, and other times he stresses him out enough to explain Dana's bald head. That interview quickly made its way back to Dana White, who addressed it during an appearance on TMZ Sports. Dana made it clear that Jon Jones does not owe him anything. In fact, he doubled down on his long-held belief that Jon Jones is the greatest fighter of all time, despite all the issues they've had over the years. Dana emphasized that regardless of their history, Jones' accomplishments speak for themselves. Dana said there is absolutely nothing Jon needs to apologize for. He acknowledged that working with Jones over the years has been a unique experience, but insisted that none of the ups and downs changed the reality of Jones' greatness or their professional respect for one another. In classic Dana fashion, he shut down any speculation of lingering resentment, stating plainly that Jon Jones is the GOAT, everyone knows it, and there's no bad blood that requires an apology. The door remains fully open for their relationship and future business together. Move on to another news. Jon Jones is still stirring the pot and continuing to troll Tom Aspinall on social media as their rivalry refuses to cool down. Despite his recent public apology to Dana White, Jon isn't holding back online when it comes to Aspinall and the controversial eye poke incident. Recently, Jones reposted a video on Instagram that mocked Aspinall's reaction to the eye poke during his Octagon interview. The clip showed Aspinall expressing frustration over the foul, then immediately cut to a moment from Jones' own post-fight interview where he calmly explained he had fought through a broken foot. The edit was clearly designed to highlight Jones as the tougher fighter and draw a contrast between how each man handled adversity inside the cage. The post quickly caught attention across the MMA community, with many seeing it as yet another example of Jones keeping the feud alive and asserting dominance over the interim heavyweight champion. Jones' message was subtle but unmistakable. He believes he has faced worse circumstances and still performed without complaining, unlike Aspinall. As the online exchanges continue, fans and analysts are once again debating the long-standing issue of eye pokes in the UFC. Even Joe Rogan recently spoke out, criticizing the rules and suggesting that more needs to be done to prevent these incidents from affecting major fights. Rogan argued that repeated eye pokes have become a serious problem in the sport, and that solutions like redesigned gloves or stricter penalties must be considered. With Jones' trolling ramping up and discussions about rules intensifying, the tension between Jon and Aspinall, both in and outside the octagon, continues to build. MMA fans are now left wondering whether these jabs from Jon are simply online mind games, or a sign that a heavyweight showdown between the two is inching closer to reality. Move on to another news. During the UFC 322 prelims, Joe Rogan sparked major debate after criticizing certain MMA rules live on the broadcast. The moment came in round 2 of the Bison Saskayev versus Eric Makhachev fight, when Saskayev, an undefeated 10-0 prospect and teammate of Khamzat Chimaev, was stopped briefly due to a low blow. As the action paused, Rogan used the moment to address an issue he believes the UFC needs to fix immediately: the use of steel protective cups. Rogan argued that steel cups create an unfair advantage and should be banned from competition. According to him, the accessory is so durable and rigid that it practically becomes a tool for legal cheating. He explained that fighters wearing steel cups can generate extra leverage during armbar attempts, dig the cup into an opponent's chest for mount, and even break an attacker's foot if someone kicks it with force. He pointed out that the steel cup offers significantly greater protection than any other type, yet very few fighters use it. Rogan said, "There's a giant loophole in the MMA rules. I'm shocked more people don't take advantage of it. The steel tie cup shouldn't be legal, but it is." Daniel Cormier then jumped in, jokingly asking if Rogan knew anyone personally who used the steel cup. DC followed up by saying the person sitting next to Rogan, referencing him directly, was proof of how effective it can be. Rogan laughed and doubled down, telling fighters to use the cup while it's still allowed, because he's convinced the UFC will eventually ban it. He described it as legal cheating that could change exchanges, prevent damage from kicks, and even compromise opponents who strike the area. The commentary raised new questions about whether steel cups are an overlooked competitive edge, and whether fighters should adopt them before regulators take action. As UFC 322 concluded, fans were left discussing not just the fights, but Rogan's strong stance on equipment rules that may soon become a hot topic in MMA regulation.